I'm Zach, and this is my wife, Emily, and this is our son, Max. We built our first house entirely by ourselves, and now we're working on our next project, a small waterfront cabin on a lake in East Texas. So subscribe and follow along. In our last episode, we poured a small slab under our house that will eventually be a finished out utility room. We had been splitting our time between our home in Houston and driving up to the lake to work on the house. The 2.5-hour drive plus loading and unloading every week was really starting to wear on us. We kept coming up to the lake to check on things, but we didn't make any real progress. It had always been the plan to at some point sell our house in Houston and move to the lake. It became clear that this needed to happen a bit sooner than we originally planned. We were starting to run low on funds for the build, and we were tired of traveling, so it made sense to go ahead and get the house on the market. There was a ton of work to do before we could list the house. Some of it wasn't necessary, but I thought it would help the curb appeal. I finished out the porch roof ceilings and stained the decks. I wish I would have done that way sooner, as it made hanging out on the decks much nicer. The other big job was installing a water well. We were still on a shared well with my parents' place next door. We touched up a number of other small things and cleaned up the yard some. I took all the pictures and sent them to the realtor, and we were on the market. The house ended up being under contract within a few days. The buyers made an offer sight unseen just after seeing the photos online, and after about a month we were able to close. It was really hard to let the house go. After all, I built it, and I know every square inch of it. It was also hard because it was our and our son's first home. He still asks to go home every now and then, which makes us a little sad every time. Because we built that house out of pocket for the most part, selling it has given us the opportunity to go full-time into finishing our lake house. We're very lucky that my parents have a cabin right down the road from our house build, so we will have somewhere to stay until the house is done. It's a fairly old house, built in the 70s by my great-grandparents. We decided that a few improvements were needed inside. The carpet was original, so it was very old and stinky, so it had to go. We laid down some peel and stick vinyl, the cheapest thing we could find at Home Depot. And while we had the flooring up, we painted 2 of the walls white just to help brighten it up a bit. And those 2 things really made the interior much more inviting. We made a few other small fixes, but we didn't want to spend too much time instead of building our house. But it is an old cabin, so Emily is always finding new things for me to fix.
Hey guys, it's been about 5 months now since we've been back up here to work on the house. Last time we were here was around Thanksgiving back in November, and now it's April and we're finally getting settled in enough so that we can start getting organized to start working on the house again.
All right, so our first project right now is getting this entry deck built. Right now it's really hard to get in and out of the house just using this ladder. So it'll be nice to have an actual way to get in there safely so we can get materials and stuff in. In our last video, we poured the little slab down here, and I decided that it wouldn't be that much more work to just kind of go ahead and excavate here, and we'll pour another little slab, and this will be a second bathroom for us down here. We'll just make it a half bath for now, and we'll probably have an outdoor shower on the outside. I'm just going to pour 2 more small retaining walls and then just a small slab. It'll be like a 5 by 6 foot little bathroom. So yeah, it'll be nice. And I also have all the lumber and everything to frame out all of the walls down here. And yeah, looking forward to getting this framed in, and we can have a nice little enclosed area to keep tools and stuff like that. So once we get that entry deck done, we're gonna be building the deck up here. We're gonna have to put some like 8x8 posts out here. There'll be 2 of them, and then a large beam up top so that the deck can come out. It's only gonna come out 12 feet, I think. So once we have that deck built, we're gonna be building another deck down here that's gonna be level with that slab. And this will be kind of the main hangout area. Over on this side, where we have our other door, this is just gonna be a small deck and stairway down to get down to this lower level. And this is either gonna be a deck here to be flush with the slab, or I was thinking about maybe putting in a small retaining wall here and building this out just with some dirt. But we'll see what happens. So we did finally get our windows ordered. We're going with the Andersen composite window. It's their 100 series. And they're just a little bit nicer than vinyl, I think. We used them on our last house and we really liked them. But we finally got those ordered, and they're saying it's gonna take up to 14 weeks to get them. So hopefully it doesn't take that long, because you can't really do a whole lot of siding until you have your windows and stuff installed. So yeah, hopefully it'll be more like 8 weeks, but we'll see. We'll just have to find some other stuff to keep us busy.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you'll follow along, and we'll see you in the next video.